If you're looking to do anything in life and have success, you have to follow like a natural inclination. And what that means is, what do you like to do? Start with that. What are you passionate about? From there, maybe that does turn into a business. Whatever that may be, but start with that. Don't try to force something. I feel like that's where people get in trouble. That's where people fall off, because in reality, they're not that passionate about it. It's easy to bail on that idea. Whereas if you're passionate about it, you have that inclination, like there's just something inside of you, like wired to do that. You'll keep moving forward.
Oh hey, welcome back to my channel. So today, that looked way cooler in my head. I know it doesn't look like it, but we're going to be doing a leg day. Well, I'm going to be doing a leg day. Well, technically I've already done a leg day. I literally was working all day and I was like, I just want to go to the gym and I just want to lock in. I don't want to talk to the camera. So I'm doing my intro now. But I'm still going to take you along. We're going to rewind. Wait. Come back first. We'll rewind and then you can see the whole session. Just a general workout vlog, vibes, education, entertainment, muscles. A bit of everything, because that's what I do. That's what I do. Let's get into it. Take notice of how this absolute specimen of a human being is executing her deadlifts. What we're really trying to do, since it's a leg focused leg day, these are my secondary deadlifts of the week, so they're not meant to be heavy. So because we're really focusing on blasting our legs and recruiting as many of our leg muscles in our lower body as we can, I'm really focusing on pushing through the floor, engaging my quads, my hamstrings, and pausing that deadlift as well, because it's forcing them to work harder. It's forcing them to work isometrically to hold that positioning, pushing off the floor, and then finishing off the lift, thrusting with my glutes, and really maintaining that position. Really trying not to use any back at all. And lucky for me, my erector's too much vim when I'm training, yeah? So I'll feel it instantly when I'm not using enough of my legs. So really getting that mind-muscle connection with my legs and using them as much as possible, making sure those erectors are literally purely there for stabilization, and that's it. My ego right now is telling me to go up in weight, because 140 is literally nothing. Like, I used to bench this, but there's literally no need. I definitely am an advocate for, form over weight. You know, I think these little things are definitely the difference when it comes to muscle growth. As much as it's easy as, just push hard, train hard, accuracy, being methodical about what you're doing is really important as well. Literally just going to leave it at 140 and just do straight sets, because I didn't really do much working up to it. Maybe 3 sets of this, because we still have a lot more to do. I'm not trying to kill myself on these. Let's get into it. I want to see if I can conventional deadlift this. Obviously I was conventional deadlifting before. Ultra wide stance conventional, but this is like a narrower stance. This is narrow stance sumo. No, let me actually lock in. How do you... Why does anyone do that for free? Oh my days. Yeah, no. Let me show you something real quick, because this is why sumo is cheating, yeah? Crazy. Madness. I fully thought this was a hack squat. Like, I set up everything, and I was about to go on it, and I was like, something ain't right.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Is what it is. I don't think they have anything else, because ideally I was going to squat, because usually I would squat. That's always my lower body. But my back was kind of at me. So I was like, instead of having that as a limiting factor, I might as well just do something else that's a bit more like isolation so I can actually get my legs properly. Next best thing I think personally would be like a hack squat or a pendulum. And the next best thing after that, because some gyms literally don't have them, leg press. We'll go leg press because I can get my quads through here. Pause. I literally remember why I don't like leg press. I don't like the leg press because it all feels the same. Like you add more weight, it feels the same. Why did that feel easier than before? And you have to load on the plates and I don't want to waste my time. Like I want intensity. So honestly, just scrap that. I'm doing something else. Split squats instead. Let's rewind. I've done deadlifts, which was compound, right? So we hit quads, we hit our quads, we hit our glutes partially, and we hit our hamstrings partially. Quads are my weak point, so I need to stop doing quad focus exercises. So we're gonna try spread it out, right? So I'm gonna do split squats, make them glute bias, so that way we have quads getting a bit more with the glutes, and then the only thing left would be hamstrings. So, you know, there's enough love in my heart for all the muscle groups. Just hand me. So we're gonna get into it. Big batsy gal. It does take me a while to find my glutes. Finding that mind-muscle connection with your glutes, I think, is so difficult. So sometimes it takes me a while. No heavier dumbbell but than 22.5s. So one thing I really like to do with like my glute work, it helps me like find my glutes, activate them, is pulses. Like with my hip thrusts, I'll do like a pulse, I'll do a hold, and then it really forces your glutes to like work and you can really find them within that. So I find those work really well. So really just taking my time to find my glutes, and then I find really pushing through your glutes up from the floor really helps. I know that sounds like duh, but like literally when you're in this position, really trying to push as fast as you can from your glutes rather than from your leg, really like explode from your glutes. Yeah, that's really what I like to think about. I suppose that's it. On to the next. I did 2 sets of that till failure. Literally just AMRAP as much as I could till I couldn't go anymore. That was it. On to the next. Ooh. Is genuinely beautiful. As you can see here, I'm really hollowing out my chest. Arms are nice and loose, they're just attachment points. And then I'm trying to keep my hips relatively flexed. And don't forget about the lowering phase. That's almost as important as like the drive up. So as I'm lowering down, I'm thinking of lowering from my glute. So really keeping that mind-muscle connection on the way down, lowering from my hips, and then driving through my hips, not giving myself rest before I start lowering down again. So really holding that tension in my glutes. And if you get these right, that glute activation is spectacular. I love those. And then putting those two together, not much rest in between them. A1 for the glutes. I chose this specifically because I did a lot of and I felt like I was doing a lot of anterior work at the start. So usually I'll start off with quads and then not too asked about like hamstrings. Order of priority, I would go quads, glutes, hamstrings, because glutes are just a weak point. I feel like I want them bigger and I want them stronger. Hamstrings, what do hamstrings even do, to be honest? So I don't really mind focusing on my posterior, more glute biased than hamstring biased. Really, really like those bodies and looking too bad. So here's the tea. My next session, which is probably tomorrow, is when I do like my squat day. I'm only squatting once a week now. When I was a powerlifter, I used to squat 3 times a week. When I started powerlifting, I used to squat 4 times a week. Now, since I'm doing it with like no sleeves, no belt and stuff, it's like super, super taxing, especially on my erectors. And like that's important because I'm trying to condition myself to be better at bracing and for all my midsection, my core to be stronger. But it just means I'm not squatting as often. I'm not putting myself through that. So I deadlift twice a week. So I want to save my erectors for my deadlifts. So what I'm going to do now is make my leg day more like posterior focused. So more focused on my posterior chain, like my glutes and my hamstrings. Because usually I wouldn't do like curls, but I don't want to tire out my anterior, like my quads and stuff, because they're going to be key for my squats, especially since I don't have any extra help. So I'm not trying to tire these out. These are the money makers. Hamstring curls, 2 sets, again, to failure. Really focusing on, with these isolations, it's important that you're isolating the muscle that you're trying to use. You shouldn't be using anything else, literally just your hamstrings. So yeah, let's get into it.
You stop it, Gucci, stop it, Louis V, yeah. On me, fly you out the breeze. Full speed, before it barely. On me, all the things, yeah. You stop it, Gucci, stop it, Louis V.
My mic was fully off and look at me yapping to myself, but basically what I was saying was, how can I resist this beautiful piece of apparatus? Like, if you literally left me with no gym and just these 3 pieces of equipment, I would get so jacked. So it would be rude not to mess around.
I can drop ties in this bitch, like flies in this bitch. I cut ties in this bitch, I'll cut ties in your face. Yeah, cut you like a lace. Nothing I do for be replaced. That's why I'm
Some words of wisdom before I log off. I will always say this, and I think it's one of the most important things, whether you're training for performance, aesthetics, functionality. Is that even a word? Functionality? Functionality? Whatever. Train your weaknesses. Focus on your weaknesses. You're literally only as strong as your weaknesses. When it comes to aesthetics, if you have really good quads, me, low-key out of myself, if you have strong quads, but you don't have strong hamstrings, it's low-hanging fruit, because it's like, that's going to make your legs look bigger. It's going to make them look more aesthetic. So instead of blasting the quads and they're getting bigger and bigger, if you're lacking in the hammies, then again, low-hanging fruit. If you're training for performance and you notice that your posterior chain is really weak, again, outing myself, train that more, focus on it, make sure you're paying more attention and prioritizing that. And the way you can do that is, doing it at the start of the sessions, having it more frequently throughout your program. But really enjoying doing these videos. I'm excited because I have a few more ideas for videos as well that I hope you guys will like. Yeah, follow my socials as always: TikTok, Instagram, code LYSTUS on ESN, and Gymshark for some money off. That's it, bro. And I will see you in the next one. Love you, Pookie. Stay safe. Stay safe, G. Like. Oh my days. Oh my god. Look how girthy that is.
Call me, fly you out the grief. Full speed, so for it barely.